thank you for showing up for you and to continue this practice of bringing some awareness to the last days of 2018, making them our best days, and really tuning into what's important to you and working on our life. That is the main purpose of my video series, is to really provide some inspiration and practices and just learnings that might help us to look at our lives in a way that helps us to focus in on what's important, to work on our lives, because it's so easy to work on other people's lives and other people's projects. And I really wanted to provide some structure to these last days. Even if you just watch or listen to these videos, I hope that they create some inspiration or some leverage for you to understand a situation a little better. So today I wanted to share with you a little insight to get clear about the primary feeling that you want to bring to the situation and the feeling that you want to get out of a situation. And I just want to clarify and just reiterate a distinction between the word emotion and feelings. Some people might use them interchangeably, and just depending on the context, that might be fine. A lot of times emotions are a reaction or like an instinct. Like I show up and someone says, "You're on stage," and I instinctively have this response of fear or anxiety. So that might be distinguished as an emotion. And the feeling that I choose to have is excited. And what I mean by that is like your feeling is a choice and an emotion is a response. And so notice your feelings and emotions this week and try to distinguish, like, is it an instinctual response and is it necessary? Is it necessary to feel fear, have the emotional response of fear, and have that continue to last throughout your day? My point is that we can really feel an emotion and choose a feeling. So I might get the news that my best friend is going to come into town and I'm excited. And so what I do with that emotional response is I choose to either call and express that love and connection, or I use that emotion to really fuel a set of actions. So it's like the emotion is like a response and maybe something that just comes up, and then it's the practice and the maturity really to take that emotion and translate it into actions and into a purposeful direction. So for example, maybe I show up and there's someone I really don't like who's in that room, and I could choose to feel fear or anger, whatever that brings up, sadness, that person reminds me of someone, and I could leave. Or I could choose to be responsible for myself and for my emotions and whatever that brings up, and to feel responsible or connected, and to create that connection, not because I have the emotional response, but because I choose to feel connected. So there's like some slight differences, and I just want to encourage us to be aware of our emotional responses and how we interpret them and choose feelings that we want to bring to that situation and that we want to take away from that situation, and some actions that leads us to. So it's a pretty high level of awareness, but we're probably doing it all the time. And that's the thing. There's some emotions that don't surprise us, and there's some emotions that we're super comfortable if they came out of the blue. There's also emotions that surprise us and throw us off our game. And those are the times that I want to just have you feel aware of and prepared for. And if you're always doing this, like noticing an emotional response and then choosing responsible, positive actions regardless of what the emotion is, then you'll probably feel like this is no big deal. But if you've had times where you have an emotional response, like you hear bad news or you hear good news and your life just spirals down, be aware how you're interpreting that emotion, what actions you're choosing based on your interpretation of that emotion. And choosing to feel is a very powerful act, and acting on a feeling that is responsible and contributes to elevate the experience is it's like on the level of a saint. It's probably on the level of those people that you're like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? And so just cultivating that, noticing in small and big ways that you have emotions and you're able to process in the moment is ideal. But after processing an emotion and choosing a feeling and actions that positively and responsibly elevate a situation is really powerful, powerful work. So if anyone has any questions, email me. And if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. Live an illumined life. Thank you so much. Stay with it. Last 34 and making them our best. Thank you.